What up, y'all? Welcome back to I Do It Myself. I am Wayno. If this is your first time here and you like what I do, hit that sub button. Today we talking about Nicki Minaj. Oh man, oh man, oh man. All right, so look, I just want to tell all of y'all that I am entertained. One thing I will say is that we don't get no more like people going up to the radio station and ranting. Um, we don't even get any type of like curation of this. It comes directly from the artist. But I want to go through these tweets. It's a few of them. It is a few of them. I want to go through these tweets because I want to know what the hell. Listen, if any of y'all is experts in barbology, could y'all please drop it in the comments on what's going on? Because I don't know. Only thing I know about Jay-Z and Nicki having any sort of dealings with one another is that she was a part of the title thing when the title thing started a long time ago. I know title got sold to Sprint at one point in time. There's a lot of different cash outs. I did see her saying something about how Rock Nation has controlled her tweets and or her algorithm, whatever it is, right? I ain't gonna front. A lot of what Nicki is doing, it sounds like conspiracy theories, but let's just keep it a buck. As much as I love Jay-Z as an artist, you know what I mean? As much as I mess with Jay-Z, I'm entertained by Nicki's fuckery. Like, for real. Like, I'm entertained by this shit. So this is the first one that I saw. And this is the one that took me by storm because I was like, what the Yo, what is she talking about, right? So she's talking about Desiree Perez, who she's referring to now as Deseret, right? Desiree, at one point in time, they say was involved with the cartel, and she told, and that sparked a lot of controversy online because I remember academics going really, really hard at the fact of, yo, Desiree is a person who, she is a part of Rock Nation, and Jay represents the streets, and she told, and all right, let's go through it. Let's go through it. She says, "Dear Jay-Z and Desiree, you ruined hip hop." I ain't gonna lie, yo. First one is OD comical because ruin hip hop. I mean, there's a lot of things that ruin hip hop, but apparently Jay-Z is the reason. You ruined football. Jay-Z ruined football. So, remember the whole Colin Kaepernick thing, and Colin Kaepernick was doing the kneeling. Jay-Z said we're past kneeling. Um, my only gripe that I ever had with Colin Kaepernick is that I never saw what the end game was. I felt like for him to call the NFL such a corrupt corporation that used black people as slaves and only cared about their bodies and their performance and they didn't care about them. He was trying out to be a part of the NFL, so it just became like really confusing to me. I mean, at one point in time when he first started doing the kneeling, I think everybody was like, standing in some sort of level of solidarity, but it didn't seem like it didn't seem like there was a destination. You know what I'm saying? It didn't seem like the road he was traveling had a destination to it. So I just was always confused about what Colin Kaepernick was doing. But a lot of people took issue because Jay-Z having to meet with the NFL and then taking over the NFL performance stuff and the inclusion and all that. She said, you ruined basketball. Not the Golden State Warriors and that 4 second or less motherfucking offense or Mike D'Antoni. Not us losing the mid-range game, not the low post being totally obsolete, not point guards being able to distribute the ball because players are missing 75 three-pointers themselves. Like, is Jay-Z ruined basketball? All right, let's keep it going. You ruined touring. I know that Jay-Z has a partnership with Live Nation. I don't know what that partnership entails, but let's keep it going. You ruined Instagram. This is where I'm like, how do you ruin Instagram? I know Instagram was sold to Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg owns Facebook. I don't know Jay-Z even having any ownership in Facebook, but let's keep it going. You ruined Twitter. So not Elon Musk. Not Elon Musk. Elon Musk didn't ruin Twitter, changing it to X and all these. Jay-Z. All right, the jig is up. All of this alleged all of this is alleged and for entertainment purposes only. Ding! All right, we got it. All right, it's for entertainment purposes only. Let's move on to another tweet. So she puts, Jay-Z, you let Deseret do a lot of evil to black people and you stay silent. We used to believe you. You went out sad, nigga. This is all alleged for entertainment purposes only. Okay, she says, Deseret, did you get that 40 millimeter? Okay. 55 and paying for bots. Oh, bot nation. Okay. I mean, yo, let me tell you something. When it comes to this whole botting thing, like, I feel like everybody's involved with bots at one point or another. I mean, listen, me personally, I had somebody ask me, did I use bots on my YouTube channel? And I was like, nah. And it was like, how do you get the views you get? I'm like, I was taught to be consistent and I was taught to keep working. So I mean, some of the stuff that I doesn't get viewed depending on the topic. Some of the stuff I do does get viewed depending on the topic, and the topics vary depending upon what's going on, what I personally want to talk about, and what I think the audience wants to hear. But whole nother conversation, right? So she says, so let me get this straight. Y'all so-called black savior Jay-Z has a Hispanic CEO who was pardoned by President Trump. Interesting. Does that mean Deseret isn't a Democrat? So I know that Desiree had the charge, like, I think it was in the 90s or something like that, right? Like, how could she be pardoned by Trump? I mean, I don't know. Let's keep reading though. I'm entertained. So does that mean Deseret isn't a Democrat? Black people, I thought y'all hate all Trump supporters. Wait, did Jay-Z ever campaign for Kamala? He's benefited so much from the party. When President Obama gave the speech about brothers, why didn't Jigga Man come out and strongly campaign for the Democratic Party at that time? Could it be that y'all have all been hoodwinked? Laugh out loud. Woo-wee. That was so kind of President Trump. And that was so kind of President Obama to passionately go through it and campaign. But what did Mr. Jigga Man do to help y'all win the election? He's above speaking out to help this party. Or was it not his party? Is it just about who can benefit him and Deseret at the time? Oh, black people, it looks like the Jigga Man and Deseret played y'all once again. Laughing my effing ass off. The jig is up. I'm going to keep it 100. I don't know what the hell Nicki Minaj is talking about, man. I mean, listen, let's take a step back. Let's take a step back and breathe. Let's take a step back and breathe. I'm going to keep it 100. When it comes to politics, I don't mind hearing artists speak about politics if they're well-versed enough to speak about politics. I think politics is larger than just personal opinion. Politics involves some sort of level of education or information. And if you don't have that, and then you're mixing this with personal feelings, especially with politics, let me tell you something. All politicians are self-serving. America would not be no better. Let me tell you something for black people. Black people specifically. America would not be no better for us depending upon who's in office. Doesn't make it any better for us. If we want things to be better, we got to start linking up and creating community within our communities, right? Now, I'm not talking about the street stuff and all black people harm each other. I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying for brothers and sisters who are smart and educated and each one teach one and them knowing things, and other brothers and sisters who might not be as educated and being more receptive to learning and not feeling like I can only learn from a certain person. Like I can only learn from a nigga who got a Ferrari because I want a Ferrari. That's stupid. You know what I mean? Or I can only learn from a person who has certain set experience, not about a person who is learning these experiences and trying to teach while they're on the way up. I just think that is just a lot of confusion, and this is really confusing. But anyway, let's keep it going. Democrats attacked me over my... I don't even want to read this one because it's kind of like she's repeating the same stuff. But so wait, Jay-Z had Not Like Us playing at the Super Bowl after his CEO was pardoned by President Trump. We got to find out who is they. President Biden posted Not Like Us after Deseret was pardoned by President Trump is so, and then she puts it like a emoji. Yo, I'm going to keep it 100. Who would have ever known? Who would have ever known that when Kendrick Lamar and DJ Mustard did that record and they hit send, it was going to upset as many people as possible? I mean, yo, this records have been a part of hip hop for so long. And I mean, of course, I'm not mad at her for defending Drake. Of course she's going to defend Drake. They've been on Young Money forever. I mean, I don't know if they're still signed the Young Money. I'm pretty sure that there's some sort of sunset clause in their deals, right? And we'll get to that because she says something regarding like how they do people or whatever. All right, this is like a longer form tweet. She says, "You've done so much evil to black people. Now you turned your back on your own as well, it seems. Don't you guys over there get don't you guys over there keep black artists fighting while you sit back and benefit from both parties? If I had gotten a pardon from President Trump, imagine the uproar. Yet the Rock Nation CEO does it, and yep, you guessed it, silence." How the fuck is anybody supposed to know that she got a pardon from President Trump? This is all news to me coming from the desk of Nicki Minaj. And if any of y'all barbs are experts in barbology, could you please put me on to what the hell she's talking about? Now, when she says the thing about, don't you guys over there keep black artists fighting while you sit back and benefit from both parties? What is this about? What is this about? Is this specifically about Kendrick and Drake? Like, is this specifically about that? Which neither artist is signed to Rock Nation or subsidiaries or managed by Rock Nation? Is like I'm really like for real. Like let's like for real. What the hell is going on, yo? What is this? What is this? Black people, until you speak up or speak on this, you can never, ever, ever. I wonder how Deseret thanked President Trump for that kind gesture. Got a Hispanic woman allegedly calling her son-in-law Hardy R under the protection of y'all, so-called black savior, while y'all sat around making them rich. Let's go. Let's unpack that, but let's go back to the whole thing about and this is I don't it's not me defending Jay-Z. I'm just really trying to understand what Nicki, because I want to hear her out. Like I literally want to hear her out so I could understand her gripes. Like I'm really trying to listen to hear her out so I could hear her gripes. But it's just like, all right, keep black artists fighting while you sit back and benefit from both parties. Is that something exclusive to, even if it was a Rock Nation play, which it wasn't? Kendrick Lamar and Drake, they problems been brewing for over 10 years. But how many white CEOs, how many CEOs that they aren't rappers or they aren't the faces, they aren't wearing chains representing the label, or you don't see them popping, you don't see them on their private jets landing on the runway and hopping into their one of 10 Porsches and going to country clubs and benefiting from the black death of the black death in music or the black problems in music or any of that. How many of them have been called out? I think it's extremely convenient to make this a only them thing, but it's motivated by whatever problem she's saying she has with Rock Nation overall or Jay overall or whatever. And of course, she said I just don't understand the ruin basketball and football. Like that's just ridiculous to me. But let's keep it going. When y'all needed them the most, they were silent, though, chin up. Jay came out to perform recently once that legal stuff started coming out. Yet, when Obama was pleading for the brothers to vote for Kamala, the richest and most influential black rapper was nowhere to be found. Maybe I'm forgetting. I don't know. Did he even say one word? It seemed like an urgent request by the tone of Obama's speech. Yet, brother billionaire never got in the field for y'all, huh? When y'all needed him the most, after all that money he made off the Democratic Party, brainwashed black people. Now, let's talk about politics again for a brief moment. Politics, I'm going to keep it 1,000, man. It's exhausting. I did bipartisan work. Politics is really exhausting because politics is just what they call it. It's political. It's extremely self-serving. I don't think I don't think we'll ever see a time that the world is ready for a female president, whether she's black or white, because we've had 2 elections in the past decade, with Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris. Um, when they say all this stuff about black, like the black men, we don't nobody need Jay-Z to get them to vote. And I'm just being honest, man. I voted for Kamala. I did. I'm not gonna sit here and well, that's really personal. I'm not gonna tell you. I voted for her. Did I believe in everything she was trying to bring to the forefront? Some stuff. Did I think that this would be a shift if it could possibly happen? Yeah. When I hit vote, did I believe that she was gonna win? No. Because collectively, the black vote still wasn't enough. When it comes to Trump and all this brainwashing and people saying brainwashing and all of that, talk about the black brothers and sisters who voted because of a stimulus check that they got years ago. So if you got $4,000 in 4 years, that's $1,000 a year, and you divide that by 365 days. I mean, of course, that's way less than minimum wage. It's really nothing. But talk about all the people who was like, Trump had niggas eating, Trump had niggas getting money. Now, could Jay-Z do something to change that? I mean, again, I'm not a politician. I'm not on Bill Maher, which I love that show. I don't know if I would ever even be prepared to even be on a speaking level to go on that show. But the issues that we have community-wise are deeper than a Jay-Z. Like, let's be for real about it. It's way deeper than a Jay-Z. But let's continue. Let's continue. Okay, it's just kind of the same thing. And then let me see. This one says, what? Is this true? I'm learning so much about my rights. Laugh out loud. So you get to decide how long your deposition is? Ha ha. Isn't the lady being accused by her daughter of being racist against black people? Jay-Z? There was no black woman smart enough to be the CEO of your company? What happened to Chaka? He gonna take a pic with Chaka now. Laugh out loud. Oh, Jigga man, the jig is up. So I can't stand when Chaka's name is mentioned, man. Cause like, if you've seen any interviews I've done before when I talked about the Kanye West situation, Chaka is a big sis of mine, man. Much love and respect to Chaka. She just be chilling. She be out the way. She be working, and I can honestly say I'm not gonna speak for Chaka. I don't know if she ever wanted to be a CEO. I don't know if that ever was her path. I never had that conversation with Chaka. Yes, I've known Chaka 20-something years. Like I said, that's my big sister. But like, why do we got to start throwing people into it that ain't got nothing to do with it? I don't know what Chaka got going on that doesn't. You know what I mean? Shouts out to my niece, her daughter. You know what I mean, Leslie? But I'm just like, what is, bro? Like, what is going on, man? Like, if we could do a real audit of the music industry, like I'm talking about a real audit of the music industry and have to go through people's contracts and what they've gone through and all this other stuff. And yo, it's so many people that's been done dirty. I mean, I listen, first and foremost, I'm just gonna bring this up as an example, not as a fact, right? Because I've never seen people's contracts. But Birdman is Unc. You know what I mean? Much love to Bird. That's my dog. You know what I mean? Has goes without saying how I feel about the brother because he's done stuff for me that I just leave there. But people have come out to say negative things about Bird and business practices and things that they have done and Cash Money and UMG and all these other things. And I'm just like, I'm trying to me, the motivation for this whole thing seems about, you know, not like us is in the ingredients. You know what I mean? Not like us is in the ingredients. The Super Bowl is in the ingredients. I don't know what the NBA and all of that got to do with it, but all of these things is in the ingredients. And I just want to know what would be her end game, or anybody who's a barb in barbology, if an expert in barbology, y'all could tell me what the end game, what this is. I love Nicki Minaj as an artist. I know people give me flack for saying shit like that. Like I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like I do love Nicki as an artist because I feel like she's represented a lot of good in her career as opposed to this right now. I liked her music and all of that, but I'm like, I don't understand where she's going in her career path with doing stuff like this. And I'll read this last one. It says, we've calculated about 100 to 200 million, I'm guessing so far, Jay-Z, call me to settle this karmic debt. It's only collecting more interest. Oh, she's speaking hypothetically. You still in my top 5 though. Let's get it, nigga. Anyone still calling him Hove will answer to God for the blasphemy. I'm exhausted. I ain't gonna lie, man. This rap shit has me exhausted. It's so many people that's just like, yo, bro, they talk about music and they be like, man, I'm done with that shit because it's too toxic. It's too much going on. Social media is like the greatest gift and the curse because you can amplify yourself with it or you could destroy yourself with it. I don't know what Nicki is doing with this. I know that she's gonna have loyalists, supporters, regardless to what she says. I would love to understand what she means or what she's talking about with all of these things instead of these, 65 or let's say 45% clues in these messages. I would really love some context into what it is she's talking about. I feel like when Nicki has issues, she addresses it. She addresses some of it, but she leaves a lot out. You know what I mean? And I think if you're gonna go as far to do the stuff that you're doing, then you gotta address this shit head on, man. Because it's just, what are we doing here? This is how I do it myself. For the ones that rock with me, know how we doing. For the ones that don't, eventually will. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Y'all let me know what y'all feel about how Nicki talking, how she talking spicy. Peace.